Welcome back to Junkie with Junior. So after working on the square body and having to make those upper radiator mounts, it was a little bit of a frustrating challenge trying to use a hacksaw in a vise and getting some nice clean cuts so I could get some nice folds on the ends of those and everything. So I decided, you know what, it's time for another shop tool. Let's dive into it and get another one. It's a tool, so it's going to get used. We're going to get our money back out of it, and we'll be able to do a better job on things in the future. So you can never have too many tools. So what we found is Swag Offroad, and they make a pretty cool mount for a traditional old Milwaukee bandsaw, and they do multiple different brands, whether it's red, yellow, the imported ones. They got brackets for all that stuff. So this was just laying around, not being used. I have one that mounts kind of like a chop saw, and it's on its own frame, and it works pretty good, but it's not handy for doing like vertical bandsaw kind of stuff where you need it to be up like this. So that's what this bracket does, is it mounts the saw upright like this, and it's going to be a lot more useful cutting tubing, little brackets, anything like that. I think it's going to make life a lot easier. So let's dive into this box here and see what we've got. Always exciting getting a new box. Got the box opener 5000 there. Let's see. And I did go for the powder coated option because, yeah, I could order it raw steel, paint it, but powder coating's definitely a little bit nicer, more durable. It wasn't that much more to go with that option, so I figured we might as well and have something that's nicer and just going to last longer. Nice packaging, comes in a nice flat rate box there, so they can keep shipping affordable for everyone. And it's actually free / included in the price. These are the legs. They make lots of really cool metalworking tools, so those are going to sit down like that. They make little feet that you can get to go with these things if you're working on an unlevel surface or like a non-skid situation. Just a cool company with a lot of neat little stuff to make your life easier. Swag Offroad. Go check them out. I was definitely impressed and entertained with everything that they have on their website. And I did splurge for an option. So the saw, it has a low and a high switch, and then it just has a trigger. So the thing to do is you put a Velcro strap around here, or a zip tie to hold that trigger shut, or pulled back as you would call it, and then you get this little handy option right here. It's a foot pedal, so it plugs in line for the power for the saw, and then you can just smash it with your foot and you're not having to fumble around with the switch and everything. So I thought that was a really nice little upgrade, and then you can have both hands on the part that you're working with there. So looks like we got some pretty good instructions and hardware in that bag. So I'm going to get some junk out of the way here, grab us a few tools, and let's see if we can get this thing put together. So that's looking really nice. I like their fit and finish. The quality is really nice on this kind of stuff. It also has these channels here on each side so that you can put a guide in there and slide your work into the saw and get you a nice square cut if you're not doing freehand work and you need something really nice. But I didn't buy that option to have that guide that goes in here. It's just a piece that you can buy extra, but the slots are there, so if you ever want to upgrade, you can. So now the legs are bolted on. The next step is we got to take off this factory guide here. So we're going to unbolt that, and then this plate gets bolted onto it. So we're going to figure that part out. And when you're ordering these on their website, they want the model number off the saw so they can ensure you're getting the right part, so that they know that these bolt holes are going to line up, because this part, from what I can tell, they manufacture to be all the same, and then they make these different plates to fit your make / manufacturer of saw, so it bolts right up. We got the plate mounted on here, and it uses 2 Phillips head screws. You gotta have a short screwdriver to get in there because the long one handles up here in the way, but really quick and simple the way they do that. It's got the slot already machined in it there for the saw blade, so everything fits nice like it should. And then you take the saw and you bring it over here, and it goes to the table with the feet. Straight, and they give you a red knob with a really short tool. It's already drilled, it's already tapped, it's all there. Screw that in. Now that screw actually sticks up a little bit. So if you were running something across here flat, you may want to take a grinder and trim that screw off just a little bit. It's like maybe a half a thread sticking up, so that you would have a perfectly flat surface and no little burr to hang you up there. But it just kind of depends on what you're working on, whether or not you need that. So now that the saw's mounted to that, you're ready to work and cut some stuff, slide it through there. And if you ever need to take it off, well, you just take that big knob screw there, unscrew it, and take the saw off, and you can still use it like it used to be, or you can leave it on there. And if you needed to, if this plate were too bulky, if you need it for something else, it's just those 2 screws to take it off. So that would be a really simple transition to go back to the way it was, to use it for practically anything. And another part that I like, great instructions. My gosh, excellent pictures. It's colored, it's large print, it's easy to read. They do a great job on that. Other thing, nice little bonus that they give you, a Velcro strap that we can put on there, so we don't have to bother with trying to find one, buy one, or add a zip tie to it. So we can just put that on the trigger and we're good. Then let's wire up that pedal and give that thing a try. So the pedal will be the new on-off switch. And like I said, this one's going to get this tie around it to hold it shut or closed, whatever you want to call it. The trigger's getting pulled back is what I'm trying to say. Oh, nice. Sweet jet flying over us there. Nice little interruption for you. So now that trigger is back, and in the event that we ever need to take this off, it's just a Velcro strap. You could take that off and use the saw as it was intended for Milwaukee. So we've got that. We've got our pedal. Let's take these ties off of here. And like I say, this just plugs essentially in line. So now this is going to get plugged into the wall, and the saw gets plugged in to here. So it just piggybacks it. And the switch, foot switch, is what's going to turn it on and off. So let's run in here and get us a power source and give it a whirl. Okay, so this is not the most ideal situation. I get it. I'm kneeling down. You know, most likely if I were really working on something, I'd have this up on a bench, you know, clamped down, bolted down, whatever. But you can't move it around to wherever you're working. But for what we're doing here, just getting this thing all put together and trying it out, we're kneeling down. So got our foot switch plugged in. That's a really nice little feature to have there. So if we were standing up working, now we've got a nice flat table to work on, and we can keep our fingers away from the blade, but we've got that nice flat surface and plenty of air to keep everything sturdy, and the saw blade is going to keep everything nice and tight on the table so we don't have stuff jumping around, which I feel is a much safer situation than trying to do this stuff by hand or a hacksaw and a vise that not getting a nice cut. So let's give her a whirl. So really awesome little fixture here. You guys definitely need to go check out Swag Offroad. They've got some cool stuff. This is just the tip of the iceberg, the stuff they have. Lots of handy shop tool kind of stuff. So go check them out. You know, this is not sponsored by them in any way. It's just something that they had that I really wanted, and I think we're going to get a lot of use out of this thing in the future. So you know, hats off to them for making such a cool little attachment. So that's all for this time. Thanks for watching Junkwolf Jr. Hope y'all enjoyed it, and we'll see y'all next time. I'm such an idiot. Where I was cleaning up the little work area where we were putting this together, I found this one little washer. Guess where it goes? On that thumb screw, and then you don't have to grind that screw that I was telling you about. So we'll take the washer, put it right on there, like they intended it. Screw it back on to mount the saw to the table. And voila, guess what? It doesn't stick up. You don't have to grind it. I'm an idiot. You shouldn't listen to everything I say, that's for sure.